Now, Mr. Rijiju, we're looking at a lot of awards, Wapsi, that's happening just now. Started with the writers, went on to academics, historians, scientists. Why would you not listen to them? Why would your government call it just political, happening because they have vested interests, because they got all their awards when the Congress was in power? Why aren't you listening to them?
If the writers, the authors, the artists are inclining towards what political ideology, we really cannot help. If those so-called liberal thinkers, they really feel they are genuine, then we have been facing challenges all over the years. There was no talk of the surrender of the awards. There was no talk of all kind of all these apprehensions and all this kind of protests. Why suddenly, for example, the protest in the Film Institute in Pune? Any government, whoever takes over, has the right to appoint directors or principals or vice chancellors through a process. There is a process for that. But suddenly, the whole institute says that we will decide who should be our director. We will decide who should be our principal. This has never happened before.
Mr.
That is
Scindia?
why I said, differences of opinion is okay. But if you are leaning towards one political ideology, then it is a threat to the nation.
Okay.
Because returning of award is not a good gesture. You can protest. You can differ. But when I was told some of the awardees were pre-1984, when the Sikhs were brutally killed under the political patronage in Delhi, why there was no talk of the surrendering of awards?
When do you want to respond to that, sir?
The Pandits were chased away and killed in the Kashmir Ghati. Why there was no talk of the returning of the awards? Bhagalpur riots. There were so many things, unaccountable incidents in India. This was never the case. But suddenly in this last 15 months, what has happened in this country, this is definitely a deep-rooted conspiracy to damage the image of this country. And I don't accept all this kind of surrendering of awards and all. After all, award is an honor given by the nation, not by a particular party or a government.
Mr. Scindia.
My good friend Kiren has always, the problem with the BJP lens is they always see a conspiracy even when there is none. Number one. Number two, to your point, Gaurav, and I just want to correct you, 35% of those people who have returned awards have been those who received awards under Prime Minister Vajpayee's regime. So they've been awarded by the BJP, not by the Congress. Exactly.
No, my point was that's what the BJP claimed.
He said it was the Congress regime at that point of time. Point number three, and most importantly, because it has never happened before, that means you condemn the fact that it's happening now. If that were the case, you would never have had independence in this country. If that were the case, you would never have had an Arab Spring. You would never have change. The fact that change is happening now in our literary class, you're condemning that because it's never happened before. I think that cannot be decried upon more than I can say. And it's always said that the literary class holds the conscience of our nation. And if they are rising, it certainly is something that we must look and introspect within as to why is it that they are rising.